A massive blizzard shuts down your entire city. Record snowfall blankets the streets. The roads aren't safe, and public transportation has been suspended. But what if an emergency forced you to drive? You're facing freezing temperatures and perilous streets. So which of these choices is the wrong thing to do when you hit the wintry road? A. Stick to the side streets to avoid traffic and accidents. B. Tell everyone exactly where you're going and what route you're taking. Or C. Drive in the tire tracks made by other cars or trucks. Not only are you dealing with the elements, but you have to navigate the roads with other drivers. Boston saw this over and over in the winter of 2015.
We just were slammed with so many snowstorms every weekend. We were running out of place to put the snow.
In January, the city is hit with Winter Storm Juno.
Anytime we're talking about a storm the size of Winter Storm Juno, we're talking about a very problematic situation for the logistics and city infrastructure.
Everything grinds to a halt as the governor issues a travel ban.
Winter Storm Juno, which actually dropped over 24.5 inches of snow.
Unfortunately, not everyone gets a snow day. Melody Rush is a lab technician at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, where she screens critical blood samples from newborn babies. But because of the storm, the delivery company that collects the samples isn't operating.
I knew that we needed to get those baby specimens out. There's always a sense of urgency when you're doing critical tests.
Melody is one of more than a dozen volunteers who offer to brave the treacherous roads. She is taking a big risk, but the blood samples are vitally important. So what is the wrong thing to do if you must drive on snow-covered roads? A. Taking side streets would be wrong and dangerous. For Melody, it wasn't even an option.
The secondary roads were still covered in snow. They had plowed, but it wasn't down to bare pavement.
Sometimes you become part of the problem and just get in the way of the people that are trying to clear the roads for everyone.
The first thing to do, let people know your plans before you get in the car.
If you find yourself driving in a snowstorm, it's good to let someone know where you're going and what your expected arrival time is. In the event something happens on your journey home, at least someone knows what your plan was and we have a place to begin looking.
If you said C, drive in the tracks made by other cars, that's also a smart move.
As you drive along, if a road hasn't been plowed, many times you have to really look for the edges of the road in the contours of the snow or the tracks of the vehicles that have gone through before you.
In Boston, the highways are a terrifying challenge.
The snow piles were so high that the merge lane and the breakdown lane were non-existent.
But she can't stop. The samples she's carrying are used to identify serious health problems. Some can be fatal if not caught within days of birth.
I knew that I needed to make it to the hospital. I didn't realize yet the fear I'd feel when I was going to merge onto the highway. My heart was pounding. And I'm thinking, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. And I merged.
True or false? In a snowstorm, when merging on a freeway, the person entering the road has the right of way. If you said false, you know the rules of the road.
It's important to realize that the people on the larger thoroughfare do have the right of way.
Melody makes it to the lab, and the samples get tested in time. The next day, she learns one of the baby's screen is diagnosed with galactosemia.
Galactosemia can be fatal for a baby. Undiagnosed babies go into liver failure, which ultimately can kill them.
Galactose is a sugar found in milk. Without this screening, newborn Juliana Salvi could have died within days just from feeding.
It was a wonderful feeling. I've never met anyone directly that I've had a hand in helping them.
Melody and her fellow technicians braved Winter Storm Juno, and their dedication saved a life. It is always better to stay off snow-covered roads. But if an emergency forces you out, keep these tips in mind. Stick to main roads that have been plowed. Tell everyone your travel plans in case you get into trouble. And follow the tracks of other cars to help you stay on the road. Winter Storm Juno may have buried Boston, but not its heroes.